Right, welcome. Good morning to Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It is your constant, consistent update around everything sports around Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. You don't get it any better than you get it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much. There is a lot I about room near unpack your mouth. Editing commodity some teams in your heartbreaker now. If you saying some good times and now. You will some comedy in our the amount on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Obviously, the La Liga is a big source of conversation with respect to games that are across the Spanish La Liga in Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico de Madrid. Table are a huge one, so we'll talk about stuff like that. We'll obviously talk about Chelsea and now our capitulation and preview Man City versus Liverpool and then the amount of English Premier League and what that means for the games there because now. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. We're number one in terms of consistent updates, and on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I'm gonna say thank you to be our subscriber to the channel and watching no notification. I'll say a very big thank you to you again. Still, say share analytics now. There are a lot of you who watch the videos not constant, you have good views, but still subscriptions not and then do the level where it should match the number of people that view it. I'm just entreating Michelle. So my confidence now, my a lot of motivation. Now me motivated the team. Need to bro the best of production every time I was a sports every day consistently. Yeah, Michelle. Go back, pause the video, not turning on the subscription button, not choose all. Let me make sure say anytime, I'll be choose all. So anytime your content about drop piano, or you're first to have it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. And it's me, and trust me, I'm going to be very, very grateful for everything that you have done. So anybody come on, I'm a woo, I'm me. So everything is going to be some good one that was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. But let us get straight into the conversation and now. Barca went away to the Estadio Gran Canaria in a big game, huge game for Barcelona because in a week Madrid about Champions League Man City very, very much confident. In a week where Madrid dropped a point in the La Liga, Barca could share 1-0, Echo joint top on top of the La Liga. I mean, this joint in terms of points, but in highest in terms of goals now. It was obviously going to be a huge week for team my friend Barcelona since they were going to play the second game. In the day, now Atletico de Madrid have won a match winning against Valencia away from home at the Mestalla. A game and a huge one for team my friend Atletico de Madrid. So Barca had to win in the evening and away from home in a little derby at the Gran Canaria Islands against team your friend Las Pamas. No mean a game. In fact, in the first leg at Barcelona, any team my friend Las Pamas said, boy, the music. What happened was that Las Palmas for SHA team my friend Barcelona. So Barca had to go in and then go and get a job done. Osha first leg India. What Las Palmas did was to make sure that they will sit deep, compact. Na Oma invited pressure from Barca for no. So Barca pressure never be bria. Then what they'll do is that they will find outlets to the center forward. They will call on to him. On winning second balls, and then they can transit into the channels and then get a quick goals over the in that game. They expect Barca in the first leg, and so this one was supposed to be a retaliation and as a revenge for team my friend FC Barcelona. And really, it was a hugely important game for Barca to try and manage game and then get the results in there. And I think that for me, so against deep or low blocks, any compact blocks, that you need players that are comfortable in the half space. And until after the game, Obiabo Abrantia Fene Danny Olmo. When the game started, not on the starting lineup. No, in fact, Anti Flake Eric gave some changes. Be when a team in him just so be team are rotating, we're keeping in place the fresh because I'm already saying the next 10 days the Champions League are right around the corner and there's going to be Champions League football. So Barca obviously had to rotate and then manage the game very well, going to it, making sure the players don't fresh and send a bit to me. Barca game with Roger Session in post, 100 Balde, Pedri, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Fermin Lopez, Casado, Lamine Yamal, Conde, and Eric Garcia. And of course, they needed that calmness on the ball to play off on the back. And Eric Garcia was a center back to open up the play. So be patient and open up play from the back. Now, on your branch, Fene Pauku Basine the ball. The two center backs now are trying. Alejandro Balde, any Brentford friend, Jules Koundé. In Fiifi-Manfred, it was Fermin Lopez, Marc Casado sitting with Pedri, in a Brentford friend, Fermin Lopez, then Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, and a Brentford friend, Robert Lewandowski led the lines for team friend Barcelona. Marc Casado started ahead of Frankie de Jong after being benched for 3 games in a row over there, because of course Frankie de Jong too every injury by and share and he has to manage him. And so manage Frankie de Jong and so manage the other players. And that's exactly what Hansi Flick he did that very, very well. And I think that's something that Hansi Flick is beginning to get right over Barcelona. Rotation and management of the players now. In the last year up till now, one of the things that's worried Barcelona so much has been a lot of injuries over the team, from the attack, defense, and even center back, Ronaldo Araujo, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Pedri, Gavi. All of these boys have had certain levels of injuries. And these are very, very key players. To be able to have these players consistently for the long term, it's important. Barca beat my managing players, and that's exactly what Hansi Flick was going to do. Before the game, Hansi Flick said something that for me was very important. The fact said the team would have to show that they deserve to be at the top. And when I say that they deserve to be at the top, because they were level on top on points with Madrid, only high first in terms of goal difference. Now, all but against a team where they can show in the first league or Spanish La Liga. How do you go back to the Estadio Gran Canaria and make sure say you exert your dominance or partners in a team that plays in a compact block? And I think that sends the right signal to Barcelona players to let them know, say, going into a match like that, they need to exert themselves. They needed to be more dominant. They needed to push and get results on our match on board. I mean, that's exactly what Hansi Flick said he was expecting from them. And he went on to say after the Copa del Rey, we have many matches until the international break. So we have to be careful. And talking about the management, like I said, management of team and friend Barcelona. Say next week teams in midweek, then they will play over the weekend. And after the weekend, they'll go and play in the Champions League. After Champions League, then they'll go in and go and play international break. And they come back and they come and play matches also from now to the international break. And he has to make sure he manages over there, what is very, very important. I think that's it. When they blasted the whistle, Barca got the chances. They got the opening. Lamine Yamal gets into good places. The first free kick of the game, via Brantia friend Rafinha. It was very, very important. Barca for manage this game in the first half. The game ended the same way. Lamine Yamal should go on offside. Trying to pull Las Pamas out of blocks and getting behind them. It got to a point where Barca were just shooting out from range, because you could tell, say, Alejandro Balde, box shots, trying to see if they are going to get lucky and get a goal from there. Because Barca really wanted to try and see said they will get a result from there, or they were not going to get a result, because it's a game that, like Hansi Flick said, they had to get a job done. But see, as far as the game went, Obi Oshe match Nibia will tell you, said the game began to cry for Brantia friend Dani Olmo. And when I say the game began to cry for Dani Olmo, what I meant to say, it will maybe now what was needed was that extra house space player you're more comfortable in the house space, and also what's calmness and composure in the box to get a job done. And it's something that you said Dani Olmo are here from the days at Leipzig, from the Spanish national team, De La Roa, and then also for the Barcelona team, consistently. So when you have a chance in the box, and he has the calmness and composure to manipulate the ball. He has the patience in and around the box to receive the ball in a half turn under pressure and make the most out of it. And I wasn't surprised. Dani Olmo, your ball first half really quickly. Now your ball started second half now. Now all change or touchline. One of my Hansi Flick called him on, because at halftime it was a 0-0 game, and you knew that you needed something from somewhere. Most of the halftime now, it was a difficult match. And again, one match Barca had to dig deep. In the run for the La Liga, Macani several times said Barca would have to dig deep. Yeah, they are. Well, they no compare Omni Madrid. Madrid does it better than them. Madrid they dig deep better than Barca for no. It's easier for Madrid to dig deep and get results than for Barca to do. But Barca for so much La Liga this season, they would have to cough up that attitude that Madrid for Nikita or Barcelona for Nibi. They would have to find ways to get our job done. And that's exactly what Barcelona needed to do, especially at halftime. Very, very difficult game. Of course, referee also allow my game because sometimes fouls be on them, then still there were no yellow cards and there were some tackles and in there. But still you could tell said one thing that was very, very important and what was missing from the game, Brantia near friend Dani Olmo in the second half. And what happened was that in everything that Barca won personally in the second half, first half, Las Palmas were 7 fouls, no yellow cards for them. Robert Lewandowski didn't go on well for him in the first half versus Las Palmas for him. And the Real Pia Macasado. It was a serious battle. I mean, Las Palmas for were ready to exit all in there. Now at 45 minutes, halftime, Yebano, obviously, Hansi Flick decided to say, Obey Abrantia Femi Lopez a free. No through on Abrantia, your friend, Obey Femi Lopez, now the Abrantia friend, Dani Olmo. Now, Femi essentially good in the half space and then in provision, and especially also from outright coming inside. But Dani Olmo were more composed in the half space and better play on the half 10 in the box in terms of ball manipulation than Abrantia Femi Lopez. And it was a game that really called for Abrantia, your friend Dani Olmo and FIFA, and of course he was thrown in there. The box name, there were a lot of penalty calls in there. Of course, Rafinha complaining several times, but the 55th minute still no goal over there. Then onto the 62nd minute, Abrantia Fred Dani Olmo with the Lamine Yamal assist over there. A lot of credit to Abrantia Fred Dani Olmo, of course, for making the best out of Sabona. Lamine Yamal, the man, for him to get the lead over there, dribbling the player, dropping the shoulder over there in tight spaces. Like I said several times, Unya Abrantia Fred Dani Olmo in tight space, and he's super important, super important our boxing, and that's exactly what he did. Yes, the incident of the potential penalty from there did come up, and there were a lot of conversations whether I said it was a penalty or not. It was not a penalty because before that incident, Las Palmas player was in an offside position, so that was not a penalty, and that's why Eric Garcia handball was ruled out, and they didn't take it for offside, and they had to VAR to check it. Semi-automated VAR did come in, and then they saw it was offside. Frankie de Jong, Abemu. And with Abrantia for Abrantia friend Fran Torres, and Lamine Yamal, any Abrantia friend Pedri. Oh, matching of course 90+8. Fran Torres again, another half space. Calm. I mean, sometimes Robert Lewandowski is more of an outlet, holder player. Say all the ball, the man in entire spaces on the man. Everybody knows that Robert Lewandowski will use the physicality first. But these guys, how many physicality, Ferran Torres more, Dani Olmo more, Femi Lopez more sometimes, how many physicality. What they do is that they use their brain and spaces. They manipulate the spaces very well. Which man dropping the shoulder, now we're moving away from the center back and as a center midfielder, and then create a space and then shoot at goal. And that's exactly also how Abrantia friend Ferran Torres shares our goal and or shares our goal in Dani Olmo celebration. They said it's time. Ferran hits the Dani Olmo celebration after scoring against Las Palmas. Now Ferran shock to secure the game. At that point in time, Barca were up by 2-0, and it means that the game was already gone for team and friend Barcelona. Flick some very, very good, amazing squad depth out of Barcelona, and I think that has been smart. Like that I said at the beginning of the analysis, the most important thing that was done throughout the games, and he said Hansi Flick managed the Barca squad very well. He did it very, very well, and it's clear with the Las Palmas game, knowing the kind of games that Airbus in recent times for team and friend in Barcelona. Barca had to manage on minutes. They had to manage on players. They had to make sure say players now are fresh, and how he managed the team is important. Resting Arau, resting Inigo Martinez, resting Gavi, resting Frankie de Jong. The time we Ferran Torres more by more, the time we Pedri, time we Lamine Yamal Efrimo was very important. Every player is hungry. It's such a beauty to see. It's very honest. Lamine is trying, but needs to be more focused. Ferran has been very, very important in matches like that match away at the Signal Iduna, where Barca needed something more than a Robert Lewandowski. It was a certain Ferran Torres who dropped the pull center backs out, created spaces, and got a goal for team and friend Barcelona. Dani Olmo has proven he's going to be very, very crucial for team and friend FC Barcelona, going for a really important player when you play against low blocks and compact sides. Really important player when you need somebody to manipulate and calm down the ball in the box and make the most out of it. With himself, Brent Feno, Danny Olmo guy, and he will step up and then get the result for you. For not making good case to be a starter. Clinical finishing, a major thing that's missing right now. Garcia and Kobasi duo against low blocks is like having two playmakers at the back, and that's something that I mentioned earlier on. Said the choice of a centre back from Hansi Flick was very important. The choice of a centre back, I mean, set Barca for elbow against low block. They needed centre backs who were comfortable in breaking the lines for them. Centre backs who were comfortable in opening up spaces up top in this, essentially having like two number 10s that were showing them in line breaking passes. They needed somebody to be confident to break the lines that were showing them, and that's what Pau Kubasi and Eric Garcia, two La Masia boys now brought to Abrante and Hansi Flick were showing them. Really important in breaking down Las Pamas for them, how good how it was going to go. Barca still wins games even when they don't perform too well, or they are not particularly they don't drop teams, and that's really also important thing. That is the next level where Barca bebo match on control gaming now on the best team, and I say on share 4-5 but still managed to be, like I did say, digging deep, managing games, getting results over there. Really important over there. As Flick always got it right with the substitutions. Of course, of our friend is the best tactical coach over there. The game showed how strong Barca for 70% of the match. We played Las Palmas half. Their game plan was to defend and take advantage of the counter attack. So it was hard to break their system, and in terms of packing the bus over there. It's very, very important. Flick realizing that Fermin sluggish in front of goal and Sabi Moff without hesitation is top-notch. Substitution Rafinha, bringing on Gerard Martin suggests that one day Hansi Flick will convert Balde into a left winger over there. Really, really important stuff from Hansi Flick. And after that game, before say Madrid, everybody know what it means, and it's a team friend FC Barcelona top of the Spanish La Liga after 25 matches played. Barcelona were 54 points. Atletico de Madrid were 53 points. Real Madrid were 51 points. If they win today, they go also to 54 points. Madrid both here against team friend Girona at home. The goal difference now is huge between Barcelona and Real Madrid. 42 points and 29 goals, plus 42 and plus 29. But of course, Madrid would have to win today. They need to find a way, saying that on betting results now. If anybody can keep up the hit on Tima, your friend FC Barcelona, Spanish La Liga and everything that it comes to. Don't sleep on Ferran Torres, the shark. Mission complete. Two boys are not to mention him at halftime. Came on and it made the important difference for Tima, your friend FC Barcelona. Barca should pay Leipzig another 55 million for Danny Olmo. What a bargain. Of course, was a Shezin, also very, very important player for team my friend FC Barcelona, and was a hugely exciting game for Barca for to have gotten the maximum points now on them. You will give them a lot of credit. Coach Hansi Flick, of course, Danny Olmo, and every other person our Barca team, they've done a very, very good job to go to cement their place at the top half of the game. Of course, wait to see how Madrid will fare. And then you may Marc Casado's heat map against Las Palmas after having only one start in the last 6 games works for Pedri, balance, Frankie, and open space for Dani Olmo. He's everyone's bodyguard. And a brand friend Marc Casado, excellent player. And it's a very, very good one for a brand friend Marc Casado. And we'll see how down goes on over there. Of course, Real Madrid, our game also. And then against team friend in Girona. And of course, the various Madrid places, almost say it's match day. Very, very important one. Deportivo Alaves, Leganés, Rayo Vallecano, Real Sociedad, Valencia, and Sevilla have all reacted against poor refereeing in the La Liga in the last week. Reminder that Real Madrid were alone in their reaction 2 weeks ago. Raúl Asensio will be renewing a contract now with team friend in Madrid. Of course, Carlo Ancelotti spoke about my last game against Manchester City, and then the one that's coming on against team friend Atletico. I say the UCL tie against Atleti will be a lot of fun, and we were going to enjoy it. Bellingham suspended. It is what it is. Another player that's going to be, I think, that a major conversation around Madrid game is going to be the suspension of our branch friend Jude Bellingham. How is that going to affect Carlo Ancelotti and Mantian on the field of play when they are playing against Girona today and they play against Atletico de Madrid in just about a week from now? How is it going to be like for Carlo Ancelotti and Mantian how are they going to manage without the house space occupation of Abrante friend Jude Bellingham, the athleticism and then the physicality and the box crashing and sometimes Odinya goes and more. How is it going to affect them? How are they going to manage the team without Jude Bellingham? And so that's a big test for Carlo Ancelotti and in the Martiano and then and it's going to be an interesting one. And now what we heard and it's a Saudi Arabia forum, Akache Madrid forum, said they are financially ready to pay Vinicius Junior's 1 billion clause at Real Madrid. Sources say it would not be an issue for them, according to Saudi Arabia forum. Omama says Madrid forum the release clause for Vinicius Junior 1 billion. They don't have a problem. They are willing to pay that amount of money. Sabrenti, a friend of Federico Valverde, Madrid forum, Ancelotti be resting a net against him, a friend in Girona. Senebea, Abrante friend Lucas Vasquez will be back, and Federico Valverde can recuperate his energy for the game against Atletico and in other matches now. Yesterday, it was not to be for Enzo Maresca and in Manti and Chelsea. Elusu, out of I think about 9 games, Chelsea Elusu 13 points from winning positions, and now Chelsea were up by a goal to 0. And Abraham match, and I kept on screaming, said, kill the match, kill the match, kill the match, kill the match. Chelsea funny thing, and they couldn't put a game to bed. And essentially, it came back to bite them via a 2-goal from Abrante friend Marco Asensio. What happened was that for me, Enzo Maresca a very good setup going into the match. We spoke about the fact that in the last game at Chelsea boy against team, my friend, Brighton and Hove Albion, Chelsea didn't have that needed physicality and intensity. Maka says, uni physicality there, so your intensity, so you're very intense, so you're more aggressive, and so pushing more, so running more, so cover more ground to sort of augment or lack of physicality. Now Chelsea have not had a physicality in terms of personal or FIFA. Now the Enzo Maresca tries to be or some match in the said, "Oh, push your branch from the Rich James. I'm gonna inverted central midfielder and will FIFA to add that level of physicality now. Chelsea for here will FIFA whilst making sure say any one of them or Boabrante for the Pedro network, which I think said solve the problem and Chelsea war against Brighton and Hove Albion, because against Brighton and Hove Albion, Chelsea attack and a little bit toothless. Nobody wanted to run in behind. Nobody was really hurting Brighton for our defense and forcing them to make mistakes. And the plan to play Pedro Neto was spot on from Enzo Maresca. But Oshe game now, as the game did open, by the 90 minutes, Chelsea dominance not really did tell. And at Chelsea had the first goal via Brantia, your friend Enzo Fernandez, which was a very good one. In the first leg, Enzo Fernandez said she go. In this one, Enzo Fernandez she go. Last season, Enzo Fernandez said she go against Aston Villa or Villa Park. So it looks as if against Villa, he gets the results over there. I went on to tweet said, whatever happens in the summer, the Chelsea for and said they need to find a way to get another physical specimen next to Caicedo and one fee for them. Senegal that can push Abrante friend Enzo Fernandez up top to go and attack the box and crash the box and get in the goal and get in the box. They're really important because as a source of goal, it looks as if Enzo Fernandez has it. But seriously, I think the sporting directors now realize and say they have probably not done a good job, to be very honest. In times like this, every day the 1 billion conversation, and you can't fault anybody that says that, because so to me spending 1.5 billion British pounds now, or second choice goalkeeper or first choice goalkeeper, you mistakes now lose 2 matches. Now see, me or second choice goalkeeper or one. My main fan is to pull him. Now also never to pull now ball a fan as then you know that there are real problems. And yes, Enzo Maresca probably did a good setup in terms of all starting a nominal formation. I don't know. But the fact that team look at taking league against Fulham, against a lot of the teams at taking league, then still they end up losing the match. Bournemouth, several times they end up losing the match. It tells you said Enzo Maresca is not doing something right on the touchline. The team seems a little bit relaxed. Anytime Mesha first go, and it's not supposed to be like that. Pamas near chances, Enzo Fernandez near chances, clear-cut chances. Say Chelsea should put the game to bed. And for me, on the touchline, I don't think Enzo Maresca has done enough to let the players know, say, Jack, you need to do more to get a result on the day. More the game will come back and bite you. And in the second half, when Villa were able to call on Marcus Rashford, Marco Asensio, two players who are looking for rejuvenation in the general transfer market on Maba Villa, and they're setting Unai Emery. They got it, and those two players combined for the 2 goals. Again, at the far post, Malo Gusto, defensive performance, shambolic, not good enough. Closing in on Marcus Rashford was not good, but see, some first goal was as a result of the bad defensive awareness of Pedro Neto, Brentford, Christopher Nkunku. The ball fell to them at the edge of the box on the first corner kick. Instead of clearing on the lines now, by the time they realized the ball had come back to the far area, Marty Cash sending a very, very good cross to the far post because they knew that Brentford and Malo Gusto was going to be the issue. Stretched it for Marcus Rashford. Excellent play. Malo Gusto tried to get his leg onto it and back in a volley to Abrante, your friend Marcus Rashford, who played it across the face of goal. And then the goal did come in there from Abrante friend Marco Silva over there. And Chelsea are dropping 15 points from winning positions. 13 have come since Boxing Day. 13 points since Boxing Day, since December 26th. Chelsea are dropping 13 points from winning positions. Points that Chelsea should have. But then they go on losing. And of course, sometimes even drawing. Chelsea have dropped 15 points from losing position. And that is really bad. That's something. And after the game, I have a lot of questions with Enzo Maresca and in the management of the game. In-game management, it's about him. If he will get credit for how he set up, then he will get a lot of bashing also for sending or managing game. I don't think Enzo Maresca managed the game enough. And now after the game, there were a lot of problems on the ball, a lot of problems off the ball, and a lot of problems in terms of finishing from Cole Palmer. And I like the fact that he has scored on people, he has scored out people. Goalkeeping position here, very delicate, and really, really worried one over them. And now Maresca said, once again, we showed we can be good, and especially in the first half was good. But that's not enough. The performance has to be complete. We need to score goals when we have the chance and defend well. But I thought we defended very well. And I think that Chelsea defended well, partly well today. My problem, however, was they're putting the game to bed. Chelsea should have finished this game off in the first half, 2-0. In the second half, Palmer go 3-0. Then they put the game to bed. But it's the same story again. Bob Bowling, they take to the place of the game. No chances. I said, Palmer drew baby. I said, he wants to try and do it all. I said, he wants to try and overdo it. And then try and, there was a simple pass to Christopher Nkunku. Palmer Alpha. The ball is saying, or try some Mabeshe goal. It was cleared off the line by as you concerned. For me, I was disappointed in Cole Palmer in that situation. Enzo Maresca said, we created many chances the last 2 games. We struggled with that and lacked threats. Today, Pedro Neto really played well. I think I need to give credit to Pedro Neto as a center forward. We tried with him during the week. It works well with him. But we did not win, and we have to be upset. Enzo Maresca, at the moment, we are in a bad run. But we need to stick together and try to win games. I have a feeling we will go again if we win a game. Until that, we need to work hard and try to get to win as soon as possible. Chelsea next game on Tuesday against Southampton. So Chelsea about 2 away games. Their next 2 games now at home against Southampton and Leicester City. These guys are in a relegation battle as it stands now. Obi sure, but they will come in and try and get a win at Stamford Bridge. If Chelsea really can get a win against your friend Southampton, maybe it's going to be the spark that brings Chelsea's season back to life again. Then after that, they play Leicester City and go away to Arsenal. Arsenal ain't an easy match at all because Chelsea phoning himself Arsenal want to win the league, but it's obviously going to be a game where Enzo Maresca will fancy. Say if you beat me and you be free more, then he will see how it goes on from there. Like we set up, like we did tonight in games before international breaks, I think that Chelsea will recover. Just a little tweak here and there. Players regaining a bit more confidence and Reece becoming more comfortable in midfield will be good. I like the shape 3-4-3. It's close to a non-conventional one. So having Nkunku and Palmer in the half pocket will make us more dangerous. Enzo arriving in the box too. Good thing we have Southampton and Leicester. I think that's the positive for Chelsea. They will have Southampton and Leicester when it comes on Tuesday. And of course over the weekend, international break. And of course they come and play against Arsenal before they go. I guess we'll use both games and we'll be fine-tune it and regain confidence. I honestly like the setup. I know the result was bad, but I don't think it's down to the shape. I think it's down, it's very promising, down to mistakes that were made over there from Chelsea for over there. I know Chelsea have made some bad decisions in terms of goalkeepers, or likes of Mike Pendes, Munya, or Georgi Petrovic are all boiling out Strasbourg, and they are here struggling our team. I mean, it's frustrating me. I understand for Chelsea fans, and I don't know how good that's going to be, or how quick Chelsea will be able to recover. But Leicester City and Southampton are matches that Chelsea can't afford to drop points over there. If they drop points from there, then they should kiss top four on a goodbye. Enzo Maresca looked very disappointed when he was asked about the goalkeeper Philly Jorgensen, whether he's going to be in there, and also him because he doesn't know if Philly Jorgensen is going to be the goalkeeper on Tuesday for the game against Southampton. But really not good at all. After the game, Enzo Maresca it was very sad. Enzo Fernandez of course, Chelsea players want to go and say thank you to them, and that's I mean, still say he gives us all on the field of play. But wait to see how things go on from there. As it stands now, Chelsea have dropped points and they are sit our Champions League in him. Not good enough for Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea know, so they need to start getting back and getting results for the matches that they have been playing and make sure say things begin to go on well for them. It has not been good in the last few weeks. Chelsea know, so they need to start getting back into winning ways. And Southampton, any team, your friend Leicester City, maybe offer Chelsea that opportunity to begin to get the results and then go back to the very top in terms of the top four and qualify for it. Now we wait to see if that is going to happen over there. I am Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing us. Thank you very much for sticking and staying. We'll be back with some more. I mean, this evening after the Madrid game, Man City, Liverpool game, we'll be back with some more. So then, you take care. Bye-bye.